We're going to look at the Six of Pentacles today. It's not a reading, it's more of a deep dive into this card. What brought this video about was I see a lot of people online say that this card can only mean one thing, and that is generosity, and anything else is incorrect. Well, I don't buy that. While it does mean generosity, and while it does have the 5 and 1 energy with it, which makes the six, which becomes harmony, it also has a little bit more meaning than that because even though at face value it may look like you're given out of generosity, the question I have is that what it actually is showing? And what drives me to that is when you look at the picture of the card, it comes after the 5 of Pentacles right here. So the generosity comes after the struggle and hardship that you had, but it still has the 5 and the 1. So the 5 in the card represents the struggle, and the 1 is the possibilities or the opportunities that you're going to do with that struggle. So are you really given from a heart of kindness with this card, or are you giving this out of a heart of seeing what I have? So it's not really out of generosity per se. It's more like, look at what I'm doing. I'm holding the scales. I'm all balanced, but I'm doing it for recognition. So sometimes this card can imply that you're only given enough of what you think they deserve, not what they actually need. So even though you're well off, right? That's what the card says, but you also want them to worship you. After all, they're on their knees looking up, and the person in blue, the emotions is saying, "Hey, what about me?" They're being ignored, and the money's being dropped into his hands, but they're only crumbs. It's another way of looking at it. So the thing with tarot is that even though the traditional meaning is around financial stability and sharing, it can also mean that you're given out of a position of superiority, meaning that you feel better than the rest of everybody else. So you only give them a mere pittance of what you think they actually do need. So you're only giving not out of charity, but maybe it's just for a tax write off. You know, how many people I've seen go to churches and say that they write their checks once a week, not so much for the act of giving, but for the act of deductions they can claim because it's a donation to a 501c3 corporation. Think about that. That can also imply the six. Now, where I'm going with this, and I may not go much longer on this, just was a a short insight into this card. When you look at the cards too as a whole, right? You have the 4 of Pentacles right here. And what does the 4 represent? Well, greed. Look at the position of the person to the elements, okay? So here you see a person holding on for dear life to that coin and doesn't want to let it go because what he has, he needs all of it and doesn't want to give up any of it. It's actually on his feet. So money is always on his feet. It's on his head. It's always on his mind. And he holds it tight to the chest. He will not let go. So he's a little bit greedy. And from that greed, what happened? Destruction. He held on too light, too long, and now he suffers from it. Now he's moving into poverty or hardship or hard time. Remember, these don't always mean finances, but right now in the context of this, we're talking finance because it's the coins, it's the pentacles. All right. So from holding on for too long and too tight, then you move into the 5, which is struggle and hardship. After you overcome that struggle and hardship, you come to the 6 right here, right? And so the 6 can represent what? Well, it could represent that you're giving out of charity, but also could mean that you're giving out of recognition to see, like, look what I have. I'm going to give you what I think you need, not what you actually need. I keep pushing that point because that is another way of reading this card. So when somebody says to you, no, absolutely not, this card could only ever mean one thing, it's not true. Again, it's good to always know the meaning of a card, but also use your intuition. So when you ask a certain question is being asked, you ask it or somebody's asking you, based on the question, this can mean different things, right? Then after you do your giving or you're giving what you think someone else deserves. And what's funny too, before I go to the next point, you have a 3, a 1, and a 2. So you have the 5 and 1 vibration, which gets to the 6. So it's the struggle and the energy that brings the potential to the next step. The potential could be really, truly freely or truly being a little bit of a miser and giving for recognition. And 3 is communication. How do you communicate that? Well, it depends on the decisions that you make with the 2. The scales are 2 as well. It's decisions, and from those decisions, you have the possibilities. There'll be the outcome of that, right? But then after the 6, what do you have? You then have a 7. You assess, do I have enough? So if you're going from a 6 to a 7 and you're assessing if you have enough or not, is that because you gave even though you didn't really want to, because you're given out of the need that you wanted that recognition? And so now the 7 is saying, boy, I shouldn't have given that. I made a mistake. Or is you're assessing like, can I give more? So from the harmony to the 7, could I have given more? Could I did more? Or like, damn, why did I give that person that? I should have kept it for myself. I only did it for recognition. You see where I'm going with this? So the point I'm making is that when you read these cards, while it's very important to know the actual underlying meaning, it's not always the meaning. It's going to really depend on the question, the context, the person that you're interacting with. And from there, you're going to come up with that meaning. All right. Anyway, that's all I have for today. And if you enjoy this quick little insight tip, drop your comments below, give it a like. That's the only way more people will see this little video here. And I want to thank you for being a subscriber or even just joining the channel right now and watching the video. I really appreciate that because without you, this channel will not exist. And until next time, I want every one of you to have a blessed and beautiful week. All right. Bye, everyone.